Hello and welcome. You are watching ET Now and I am Prakash Priyadashi. ET Now's Budget Yatra has reached Meerut, the sports city of India, which accounts for nearly 42% of India's overall sports goods export. Other industries such as textiles, chemicals, pharmaceuticals and sugar also have significant presence, making Meerut a key industrial hub in North India. However, things have changed significantly over the last year due to geopolitical complexities and tariff-related disruptions. How is the industry coping with these challenges? With the union budget around the corner, we are reaching out to this industry to understand their concerns and the demands they have from the Union Finance Minister. Now we are the headquarters of the business community in Meerut, and I'm joined by representatives from various industries, including exporters. Now that things have changed significantly over the last year due to geopolitical complexities and tariff-related disruptions. In fact, some significant decisions have been taken by the government as well as the domestic front. How the industry is coping with the challenges in current situation. What are the expectations? Because we are around because the budget is around the corner as well. Let me go across and speak to them directly.
The government is rightly supporting the startups, but I think we need an equal support to the traditional manufacturers, the generational manufacturers. They want to upgrade and modernize, but there is very limited incentives for people like us. And it's high time that the government needs to bring in low-cost financing, as well as other incentives for these upgradations and modernizations.
Any specific concern that you are facing, the challenges that you are facing at this point of time?
Challenges are in terms of growing the business. The cost of finance from MSMEs is very high in comparison to the big organizations, which is a challenge. Plus, even the availability of real estate is a problem. We are at a point where we are looking for bigger land parcels, but the availability is very low. There are no developers, there is no support from the government, and that's a challenge for us.
Okay, so your demand from the union budget.
I am Pankaj Gupta. I am running Transformer Industries. Transformer में जो metallic raw material है, it is very uncertain. Or due to that uncertainty, our products cost is very high. गवर्नमेंट को उस जो रॉ मटेरियल है उसको कंट्रोल करना बहुत आवश्यक है. लाइक कॉपर, एल्यूमिनियम, देन CRGO, everything is going so high. The cost has become so high in the government tenders, because in the government tenders, once we fix the price, it is very difficult to increase the price when we supply the material.
So you are suggesting government to reduce basic custom duty on raw materials in the upcoming budget?
Custom duties as well as the domestic, control should also be here. Finding a lot of difficulties to supply the material in the quoted prices.
Right.
So here we are running in loss also.
In addition to that, एक important चीज़ जो पिछले कुछ समय से हम देख रहे हैं, जो गवर्नमेंट ने डोमेस्टिक फ्रंट पे कदम उठाए हैं, चाहे वो GST रेट रैशनलाइजेशन से रिलेटेड हो या कंप्लायंस सिंप्लीफिकेशन से रिलेटेड हो, आपको लगता है कि ये सफिशिएंट है और या फिर गवर्नमेंट को कुछ और मेजर्स लेने चाहिए, और क्योंकि बजट से बेहतर वक्त नहीं हो सकता है, आपकी इसमें क्या राय है?
MSME basically is a small industry and with a limited capital. और वो कैपिटल सारी स्टक हो जाती है गवर्नमेंट से के पास. अभी जैसे हमारे केस में इन्वर्टेड स्ट्रक्चर आया है, तो हम गवर्नमेंट से यही चाहेंगे कि उसकी पैरिटी बिठाए, या तो 18% करे. हम ये नहीं चाहते 5 ही करे, या तो 5 करे या 18 कर दे. इनपुट आउटपुट शुड बी द सेम. कैपिटल पे जो इनपुट है उसका हम ITC नहीं ले सकते. तो वी एक्सपेक्ट दैट गवर्नमेंट शुड सी ऑन इट and rationalize this.
Let me ask one question on sports industry. Since you are representing a sports industry, since you are facing a lot of challenges from the external sectors, we have tariff-related disruptions as well. What are the impact that you are facing at this point of time?
One of the major challenges we faced, we have to shrink our profit to meet the global competition, first aspect. Second aspect, what is happening right now, most of the preferential for the trade is given to China, Vietnam and Indonesia. We are expecting US market to grow rapidly, and it was growing from last few decades. And government need to think about how we can mitigate this challenge of 50% tariff on Indian products, because this will again boost up the domestic market. As an exporter, we always try to capture the large chunk. If we go and focus on small countries and country by country, little small exports, that can be another way to mitigate the global challenge of especially US trade war. But that will again take a long term. Finance Minister first plans is to reduce the compliance cost on MSME. That is the major challenge MSME is facing as of today, cost of compliance. Second challenge is facing with number of GST slabs. They have reduced the tax slabs, but they need to work on one single tax slab for the industries specifically.
सर मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूँगा, आप किस इंडस्ट्री को रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं और आपके क्या कंसर्न्स हैं और बजट में से क्या उम्मीदें हैं इस बार आपको?
जो गवर्नमेंट को कुछ बेनिफिट्स हैं एक्सपोर्ट के इंजीनियरिंग गुड्स के लिए पर्टिकुलरली, वो कुछ ऐसे बढ़ाने चाहिए कि चाइना के साथ जो हम कंपटीशन फेस कर रहे हैं वो कंपटीशन ना हो और हम वी कैन एक्सपोर्ट वाइडली. रॉ मटेरियल जैसे आयरन एंड स्टील है, इस पे 18% ड्यूटी है, इट शुड बी डिक्रीज्ड. एंड दिल्ली एनसीआर में जो पॉल्यूशन के नॉर्म्स आ गए हैं उसकी वजह से वी आर यूजिंग सीएनजी गैस, और सीएनजी गैस पर गवर्नमेंट क्रेडिट जीएसटी क्रेडिट नहीं दे रही. ये एक बहुत बड़ा इशू है. तो जीएसटी का क्रेडिट हमें सीएनजी जो गैस इंडस्ट्रियल यूज़ के लिए है या हम अपने जनरेटर्स चला रहे हैं उस पर सब पर सीएनजी का जीएसटी क्रेडिट गवर्नमेंट को फ़ौरन इस बजट में अलाउ कर देना चाहिए. सेकेंडली, जो एमएसएमई में जनरली प्रोप्राइटरी यूनिट्स हैं, पार्टनरशिप यूनिट्स, स्मॉल यूनिट्स हैं, माइक्रो यूनिट्स हैं, उनके लिए इनकम टैक्स में कोई गवर्नमेंट कभी कोई बेनिफिट नहीं देती पर्टिकुलरली. तो मैं समझता हूँ प्रोप्राइटरी यूनिट्स, पार्टनरशिप यूनिट्स, जो स्मॉल माइक्रो यूनिट्स हैं, जो बैकबोन है हमारी, उनको कुछ ना कुछ स्पेशल इनकम टैक्स में रिलीफ या कुछ स्पेशल बेनिफिट जरूर मिलना चाहिए.
Tell me about yourself, the industry you are representing, and also the concerns that you are facing at this point of time and your expectation from the Union Budget 2026-27.
I'm Ian Malhotra. We are making transformers and we are also making electronic sports goods, which we are exporting. And the recent problem is that the market has become so volatile that all metals, copper, aluminium, silver, gold, they have risen so sharply. And I don't understand what is the reason for it. There's no demand increase. So why they should be increased? So those who are making government supply, they have already committed the prices. So how can they supply on those old prices with this escalation of the raw material price?
Okay, so specific recommendations?
There should be government control on these prices.
Okay.
Is there a cartelization or whatever is the reason? I don't know. But this must be contained. And secondly, I am also making electronic sports goods. Now the export is affected because of the tariffs.
Right.
US tariff, there's almost no export. But at the same time, the import is also affected because the dollar has risen. So all our components import price has gone up exorbitant. So that is the major cause. The raw material input has increased and the output, the sales has decreased. It has decreased.
आप बताएं कि जिस इंडस्ट्री को आप रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं क्या कंसर्न्स इस वक्त है और क्या डोमेस्टिक मार्केट में डिमांड बढ़ाने के लिए, कंजम्पशन बढ़ाने के लिए इनफैक्ट कई तरह के इंपॉर्टेंट डिसीजंस गवर्नमेंट ने लिए हैं और कौन-कौन से मेजर्स लिए जा सकते हैं ताकि जो डिमांड है उसमें बढ़ोतरी हो, कंजम्पशन में बढ़ोतरी हो?
मेरे गवर्नमेंट के लिए इस बजट में दो स्पेसिफिक सजेशंस हैं. एक तो जैसा आपने कंजम्पशन बूस्ट करने के लिए की बात कही, हम कैपिटल इक्विपमेंट सप्लायर हैं. हमारा सप्लाई तब इंक्रीज होता है जब नए प्लांट्स, नया कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर होता है. आज की डेट में फर्टिलाइज़र सेक्टर की अगर हम बात करें, कोई भी एक फर्टिलाइज़र प्लांट से जो फर्टिलाइज़र निकलता है 90% ऑफ द फर्टिलाइज़र कॉस्ट इज सब्सिडाइज्ड बाय द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया. 3,500 रुपये का एक फर्टिलाइज़र का 50 किलो का बैग होता है, उसमें 3,000 रुपये या 3,200 रुपये तक गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया पे करती है. तो गवर्नमेंट वहाँ पे कहीं ना कहीं अपना हाथ रोक रही है. अब या तो वो अपना,
आप ये कह रहे हैं कि जो पर बैग सब्सिडी की जो रकम है उसमें बढ़ोतरी की जाए.
मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि या तो गवर्नमेंट अपना बजट बढ़ाए फर्टिलाइज़र सब्सिडी देने का, या फिर कहीं ना कहीं उन्हें प्राइस फार्मर्स को पास ऑन करना पड़ेगा।
तो एक दो चीज़ें हैं कि अगर गवर्नमेंट ओवरऑल सब्सिडी की अमाउंट में बढ़ोतरी करती है बजट की फॉर एग्जांपल करंट फाइनेंशियल ईयर के लिए 1.67 लाख करोड़ के आसपास है, मान लीजिए ये 2 लाख करोड़ भी हो जाता है, तो आप ये इंश्योर गवर्नमेंट करेगी कि सफिशिएंट इंपोर्ट हो ग्लोबल मार्केट से या डोमेस्टिक प्रोड्यूसर्स जो है सफिशिएंट प्रोड्यूस करें सो दैट कि मार्केट में अवेलेबिलिटी में कमी ना आए। लेकिन उससे अगर पर बैग सब्सिडी में बढ़ोतरी नहीं होती है तो उसमें प्रोड्यूसर्स को कैसे फ़ायदा होगा?
सो द थिंग इज़ कि अनलेस गवर्नमेंट वो जो नए फर्टिलाइजर प्लांट्स लगने हैं उनके प्रपोजल्स पे हाँ नहीं करेगी, जिन पे बहुत स्लो चल रही है, तब तक जो है हमारे जैसे कैपिटल गुड डोमेस्टिक कैपेसिटी नहीं बढ़ेगी। देयर इज़ नो पॉइंट कि हम सब्सिडी भी दे रहे हैं और वो सब्सिडी का पैसा एक्चुअली इम्पोर्टर्स को जा रहा है। सेकेंड पॉइंट मेरा ये है कि हम लोग एज कैपिटल गुड बनाने वाले मैन्युफैक्चरर्स हम लोग स्टील की बाइंग करते हैं। स्टील इज़ नॉट अवेलेबल ऑन MCX। आई डू नॉट नो वाई, बट गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया शुड लुक कि बजट में हाउ दे कैन गेट स्टील ऑल्सो इनटू MCX so that a small buyer of steel can hedge his steel prices। जो हम 6 महीने में इक्विपमेंट बना के भेजते हैं वो उसके प्राइस हम हेज कर सकें, क्योंकि स्टील में भी उतनी वॉलेटिलिटी आ गई है जितनी कॉपर, जिंक, एल्यूमिनियम या उन सब में थी।
वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है और ये वैलिड पॉइंट है। उम्मीद ये की जा सकती है कि सरकार इसको कंसीडर करेगी। और आपके क्या स्पेसिफिक सुझाव, डिमांड्स और कंसर्न्स हैं?
जो मेजर चैलेंज अभी हमारे रिसेंट आया है कि पहले हम लोग सीमेंट पे गवर्नमेंट ने सितंबर में GST रिड्यूस किया था फ्रॉम 28 इट केम डाउन टू 18, तो 10% का सीमेंट बायर्स ने हमें रेट्स में पास ऑन किया। लेकिन वो जो 10% का पास ऑन हुआ वो सिर्फ 2 महीने हुआ। अभी वापस सारी सीमेंट कंपनीज ने कार्टेलाइजेशन करके रेट वापस बढ़ा दिया है, तो वो जो 10% इंक्रीज़ कर दिया है। इनपुट क्रेडिट जो पहले 28 था वो 18 रह गया, लेकिन हम सीमेंट का प्राइस सेम दे रहे हैं। और इसमें सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम कार्टेलाइजेशन की है, क्योंकि सारी सीमेंट कंपनीज, आप कोई भी सीमेंट खरीदेंगे एक ही रेट मिलेगा सभी कंपनीज का। तो सीमेंट जो है इंडस्ट्री के अलावा बाकी कॉमन मैन जो भी अपना घर बना रहा है, कोई बिल्डिंग बना रहा है, उसके लिए बहुत ज़रूरी है। तो ये एक कॉमन मैन पे हम भी जो महंगा होगा हमारा प्रोडक्ट वो कॉमन मैन पे ट्रांसफ़र होगा। हम बिल्डर्स को देते हैं, बिल्डर आगे कॉस्ट ट्रांसफ़र करेंगे। तो एक तो ये बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज,
ये तो GST से रिलेटेड हुआ।
GST से रिलेटेड है ये वाला इशू। मेरा ये गवर्नमेंट से अनुरोध है कि अगर इस बजट में या किसी अपनी पॉलिसी के अकॉर्डिंग जो टैक्स गवर्नमेंट हमसे ले रही है GST का, अगर 1% भी हमें वो हमारे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के लिए ईयरमार्क कर दे कि ये पैसा जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है, जिस एरिया से भी टैक्स आ रहा है, मान लीजिए मेरठ से जो भी टैक्स आ रहा है उसका 1% अगर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के लिए मार्क कर दे तो यहाँ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर कंडीशन बहुत सुधर जाएंगी। मेरठ में बहुत ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम है इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की, रोड्स, इंडस्ट्रियल एरिया की रोड्स वगैरह की और सीवेज की स्पेशली बहुत ज़्यादा इशूज़ हैं।
I'll come to you again, but the one important thing which is with regard to the implementation of labor codes. In fact, the government has already issued a draft notification after a gap of 5 years. You were saying something. Is there any specific concerns with regard to the new labor codes?
There are 4 labor codes now, which will be effective from 1st of April 2026 now.
Right.
Now the problem is that simplification has been done and the compliances have been reduced. Now the MSME industry has to file one return annually only.
Right.
But at the same time, if you don't comply at the right time, the penalty have been shot up in very high. Number 2 point I want to raise is that for MSME industries, this labor class is very important.
Right.
And the labor is not available. Whatever the minimum wages they have fixed, say about 11,000 rupees or 12,000 rupees, even at that price the labor is not available. So we are facing on the both counts. Our taxes are being increased, we are deprived of the labor. So this is very great concern.
Valid point noted. One thing that I would like to ask you, sir, this is with regard to the announcement which has been made by the government in terms of providing relief to the exporters amid a complex geopolitical situation. The cabinet has recently announced some sort of financial package. Are you satisfied with that?
Not exactly. Previously, we used to have lot many of drawbacks, right? Exporters already demanded to revive that drawback, I think, so that would again give us some sort of hand-holding along with the financial package they have given us.
अभी right time है, budget नज़दीक में है, तो आप कोई immediate relief that you are seeking from the government?
Government really need to work out on this 50% tariff from the US so that we can again boost up the potential that we are getting from the US market.
So with this note, we would like to wrap up this conversation here, and we're expecting that the finance minister would like to consider some of the recommendations that the industry has made during this conversation in the upcoming budget for the financial year 2026-27. During our Meerut Budget Yatra, we are at one of the establishments where sports goods are being manufactured, and I'm joined by Mr. Amar Anand, who is CEO of NELCO. Grateful to you, sir, for speaking with us on ET Now.
Thank you so much.
Take us through the work you do, also the kind of impact you are witnessing at this point of time due to geopolitical complexities and tariff-related disruptions.
I represent NELCO India Private Limited, and we are into Olympic sports such as weightlifting and athletics. I'm very proud to say that we were the first company that was approved by the International Association for Athletics, World Athletics, way back in 1990s. And now we are also approved by the World International Weightlifting Federation for weightlifting. So I believe we are the only company from India and one of the 5 in the world.
Right.
As of now, as we are into brand exports, I would not, with all the tariffs and everything happening around the world, and so as of now, the impact has not been very much on the brand sales. There are 2 types of exports. One is a brand export, where you export in your own brand and you have a certification from the international highest federations. So that segment has not been impacted. But the generic sport goods, that has been immensely impacted. I would say it has an impact about 30% on the total sales or exports out of India.
Right. So Meerut's contribution is almost around 40% in India's total overseas exports in terms of sports goods materials. So where are we stand at this point of time in terms of export, and also due to these challenges which are coming from the external sector, do you think that the government should provide some sort of hand-holding at this point of time to the industry?
I mean, Meerut has been very lucky in one sense that it has mostly the exports out of Meerut are brand exports. So the impact is there. So what we would like from the government, the government has already established a task force under the aegis of Niti Aayog.
Okay.
So they are already working on it. We've been talking to them for the last 6 months. So now they have constituted a task force, and they have also said they are going to provide a fillip to this sector as they did with the toys in the form of a PLI or something like that.
Okay.
So it is in the works.
Okay. Yes. So, have you provided your feedback or any sort of specific recommendations?
Yes, we have provided. Actually, I also represent the Sports Goods and Toys Export Promotional in the capacity of their vice chairman. So we have given them a lot of data, which we have collected from our members.
Right.
And luckily, the government, the Indian industry, they are very adaptable, and they have moved to, started exporting to different countries, not solely dependent on US. But being said that, US is still one of the largest markets for India. US is like 27% of our total exports.
Right.
They go to the US, and the similar amount goes to UK as well. So it is a very important market for us, and we are waiting for the government to, do a trade deal with US, because it's, you can't move that 27% to another market. It takes a lot of time.
The government is nudging industry to diversify their.
They are saying, but it is not, it is not always possible, because there are certain products that they are US specific, and you can't move that to, another market. But, US works on catalogs and brands. So probably we will see the effect this year.
Okay.
Because this tariff was implemented in the middle of the year.
Okay.
So the Indian products were already on the catalogs. They're already on the shelves and everything. So you can't just replace in 6 months. So, but I think their year starts from January to December, and we are, feeling the heat now.
Oh, I can see some.
Yeah, these are our athletics products.
Like javelin, yeah. So So is this US specific or you are exporting?
No,
to
this is a world athletics certified product, and most of our products are certified athletics. So it's like athletics is a discipline where it is not country specific. It is like all the rules and regulations are made by the World Athletics. So it is used everywhere.
And India is all set to host Commonwealth.
But what I would say is US specific is US is a market where they buy there are javelins which are in the range of like javelin or discus, which are in the range of like there would be a $5 discus and there would be a $300 discus.
Right.
But US is that market that buys the $300 discus. So so that is US is a profitable market for the sports goods industry.
So any sort of immediate relief that you are seeking from the government at this point of time?
I mean, we are not looking for immediate relief, but we are looking for a long-term solution because, immediate relief it will help us for like next 3 months or a quarter. But, we need a long-term resolution to this problem because it is a very important market for us. And it is a very important and a profitable market for us, I would say that. So we are not actually looking for a short-term relief. I'm looking specifically for a long-term resolution to this.
Policy-related support.
Yes.
Okay. But the budget is around the corner. So you must be hoping for the government to make some announcements related to your sector.
Yeah, one thing we are seeking from the government, it is like, to give us, there used to be a MAI scheme, Market Assistance Initiative, which they have not been providing for the last 1 or 2 years. So we are looking for something on that, on something like that, where they would provide us, some budgets for the marketing assistance, for building our Indian brands, and for getting, the certifications are very expensive. So we want some, the government to subsidize us to some extent. That we are looking for them because if our brands are certified and then it's easier to export, and then India can be on the, at par with the foreign brands. So certifications are very important. So we are looking at some subsidies on the certification and the testing parts, and also some marketing assistance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
to go to the exhibitions and the fair, so we want something to be subsidized for the.
So have you made any such recommendations?
Yes, we have already done that.
Okay. In addition to that, India is all set to host Commonwealth Games. So are you ready with your preparations?
Yes, we actually had the Commonwealth Weightlifting Championship last year, a few months ago in Ahmedabad, at the same venue where they are going to, host the Commonwealth Games. So we are prepared for that, and our equipment was also used there. So now we are ready for the Commonwealth, and I think we have a couple of years to do that. But the government, the government of India has, under the Niti Aayog, they have this initiative where they want the Indian branch to be used at the Commonwealth Games. Okay. And I think that would go a long way in helping the Indian manufacturers.
Demands related to reduction in duties on raw materials, process simplification, easy access to credit at affordable rates, and further support for MSME industry are amongst the key items on the industry's list for the Union Budget 2026-27. Along with that, sports industry is seeking a PLI-like scheme to mitigate losses they are facing due to global uncertainties. It has also demanded for the formation of specific sports cluster along with reduction in certification cost. It remains to be seen whether the government will address these concerns in the upcoming Union Budget. Meanwhile, stay tuned and keep watching ET Now.